So Florida law is that you have to be here legally to be able to be employed. That's been the law for forever. And so when we have something like an E-Verify, that's a tool to make sure that long-standing Florida law is enforced. And I think that that's important. You can't build a strong economy based on illegality.
I don't know about you guys, but my truck will not be going to Florida at all.
This is going to be a touchy subject, okay? So we're going to get into this because everybody's talking about it, and millions of people are afraid that there's not going to be food on the shelves because, you know, there have been videos made that saying that truck drivers as a collective are going to boycott Florida. And reason why, you know the reason why. We're not even going to get all the way into that. But Ron DeSantis pretty much passed a bill on Wednesday saying that, look, he does not support what's going on with the border states. And he's saying that, look, if anyone's illegal immigrant, he's sending them back. And there's a lot of hurt feelings because of this. But the big problem with this is a lot of people are saying that the Latin community is going to protest and boycott. Now, I'm not saying anything about that. What I am going to say is, you know, for the thousands and millions of people that live in Florida that are afraid that truck drivers are not going to come into Florida to deliver any goods anymore, and food is going to be scarce and it's going to be like an apocalyptic time. I'm here to really say what I think about if that's going to happen. And so this isn't anything more than talking about, will there be food on the shelves at the stores? What's going on, Mother Truckers? Welcome to Mother Trucker News. Email us at muthatruckernews@gmail.com. I'm getting so many truck drivers and just people living in Florida asking questions about this boycott of truck drivers driving in Florida. And the reason why is because, you know, everybody's been talking about just the state law targeting undocumented immigrants that Ron DeSantis has said, hey, look, if anyone comes and they are illegal immigrants, he is sending them on a bus. And he pretty much made it very clear that he does not want to support this. And all I have to say is I'm here just to explain, you know, what's really happening in Florida. So truckers are threatening to boycott Florida over a migrant crackdown. Okay, so state law targeting undocumented immigrants prompts backlash from Latin American truck drivers. And there have been a lot of TikToks been made that's been getting millions of views, stating that they will not support Florida and they will never deliver in Florida again. Right. And so people are asking me, you know, what are my true thoughts about that and what's really happening? And I live in Florida, so I can tell you my experience from being a truck driver, my experience from people putting on boycotts and strikes, and the state of trucking and what's really happening. And the opinions I have, honestly, are my opinions on this. And so if you do not agree with them, then that's perfectly fine. I'm going to give you the state of trucking right now. The state of trucking right now sucks for a lot of people. There are companies out there that might be still doing well, and they might have great contracts and they're doing great. But as far as fuel being up, insurance being up, and just rates being so low, I'm telling you right now, if a lot of truck drivers don't go into Florida at the point that they're having a hard time getting any driver to go into Florida, those rates will skyrocket. And in a time right now when trucking is at pretty much its worst, there are going to be a lot of drivers that are going to take these loads. You know, again, I'm not talking about, do I support this or not support this? I'm talking about the state of trucking right now. The state of trucking is such in a bad spot that if people boycott Florida, there will be drivers that will gladly take the load there. Now, as of now, living in Florida, what are we feeling now? It's a lot of words being spoken, a lot of videos being said, a lot of views as well. But, you know, I went to the truck stops today and there's a lot of trucks coming into Florida still. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying I don't support anything. I'm saying that as of now, things seem to be normal. And if the boycott is successful because of the state of trucking and the high fuel rates and the high insurance and the rates just being so low for owner operators, there will be a swarm of owner operators to come in. So for the people that are nervous and scared that there won't be food on the shelves, I'm telling you, I truly believe you have nothing to worry about on this. You know, there's been a lot of boycotts and a lot of strikes in the past. And, you know, I've let a lot of people on the show, and I'm here to tell you that, you know, if truck drivers can't all as a collective get together for better pay and better rates, it's going to be very hard for, even a strong community of drivers to boycott and it make a dent. Now, I know that this isn't something that people want to hear, but I'm just talking about, you know, will there be food on the shelves? And so I'm just giving you my honest opinion from doing news and daily news every day that food will be on the shelf. And if this boycott is extremely successful, then there will be other drivers that will actually lift the weight and take the load. You know, it's sad to say, but that's what it is. Mother Truckers, comment down below.
You know, there's a lot that's been going on this weekend, and the big topic has been Title 42, and why does this have to do with trucking? And we're going to get into that. But Jenna, what does Title 42? I mean, what have you been hearing about it?
Well, Title 42 is a bill that was passed during the Trump time, and it was during the time of COVID, which restricted immigrants from other countries to come to the United States. Due to, you know, of course, not wanting to transfer COVID-19 to other people, basically. So it stopped immigration because they didn't want that happening. But they ended up, you know, getting rid of it on Thursday. It was like the last day. So that's pretty much what Title 42 is.
And statistically, they said that, like, America is going to let in over 30,000 people a month.
Over 30,000 people a month.
And so, you know,
but I guess in a way it's kind of like to compensate for the time that they weren't allowing like immigrants to come in.
And I'll check on that statistics because I want to give you the correct information. But we are in South Florida right now, and our governor is Ron DeSantis. Mm-hmm. And so what did you hear about that?
Well, he's made it a lot strict for illegal immigrants to work here in Florida for sure.
And, you know, he made a pretty bold statement. I got to look up the statement, but it was something along the lines of...
He passed the bill basically saying that it is not legal for illegal immigrants to work here in the U.S. And they have to basically go through a series of criteria in order to even meet that. And so I think one example is if you have it's gotten to the point where if you have a driver's license out of state, and it's not a Florida driver's license, but you're using that to find work or to even drive in Florida, and you are an illegal, you can't even like drive in Florida.
And I gotta look it up because someone told me that
one of the criteria is,
but someone told me too that like Ron DeSantis is being pretty tough on it, saying like if anyone tries to come here illegally, he's going to like put them on some transportation and send them.
He said that he will. I think it's the same thing with the governor in Texas, and it's like quoted in articles too, saying that if there are any illegals in the U.S. or in Florida, that he is going to put them on a bus and ship them to a left state. So,
you know, and look, we're going to stay out of all that. The reason why we bring up this information is because it actually has to deal with trucking. The Latin American trucking. I gotta look it up if it's the association or what, but they say they're gonna boycott Florida because of this. And so, what are your thoughts about this? And